Right then, boys, I'm just here at the Cannes house with all of the members. I think we just walk and talk. I don't have a lot of my equipment because I couldn't pack enough in the bag. So I think we just do a walk and talk video. I'll explore the grounds for you. As you can see, it's just absolutely ludicrous. It's pretty crazy. It's blowing my mind, actually. That's for a separate video. In this video, I want to talk to you about enjoying the progress. So one thing I've noticed in my long years of being in this industry is that the idea, and I was doing this a lot when I was younger as well, the idea behind self-improvement is to push yourself to the absolute limit. So whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's anything that we do, everything is done to the nth degree. Everything is done to the point where it's like, I have to improve. I have to get to a certain level. I have to push myself. I have to lift heavier than last week. I have to run to oblivion. I have to do it until my legs give way. I have to work on my business until I pass out. I don't think it's enjoyable. This is something that I've done both of. I've done it in the past where I've absolutely worked my balls off. Let's keep walking. Where I've absolutely worked my balls off and I've burnt out. I have no shame in telling you guys I've burnt out because everybody online says that you can work relentlessly. The problem is I'm old enough and stupid enough to know how many people and how many people in this members club that I speak to have also said the same thing. They've also said, I've burnt out too. You know, like they come to me and they say, I'm tired. I don't want to work anymore. What's happened to me? And I'm like, you burnt out. You just got annoyed with the whole idea of trying to become a billionaire by 25 and all this stuff, and you just burn out. It's because nobody enjoys the progress. And I will give you a perfect example. You guys know that I made a video recently where we were driving out the other day with the roof down. It's quite nice, actually. I mean, it's not the most baller car in the world, but it's the experience of having the roof down. But I kind of shat on Floyd Mayweather. I was like, he can't read. Now, here's the thing. Floyd Mayweather, I really admire because he used to go to nightclubs and not drink and just have a good time. His thing was women and money. And he used to have a good time, and then he used to jog back, get himself to bed, and then he used to go and train. You know, the next day, train like crazy. And then he'd go and eat some chicken wings. He'd drive his Bugatti around, eat some chicken wings and stuff. And I always admired that. And people are like, what's Floyd's secret to success? What is John Jones's secret to success? What is Tiger Woods' secret to success? It's like, all of these people had fun. That's the thing. Like, you think of Tiger Woods, yeah, like, I don't advocate what he was doing, but like, he's having fun. He was like going out, sleeping with different women. He had his vice. He was letting off steam. And the point isn't that he's sleeping with different women, it's that he's letting off steam. John Jones used to go out party, do lines of cocaine and whatnot. Not advocating that, I'm just saying that was his thing. Now, Floyd Mayweather is the best example because he did it clean, which is why he's as successful as he is. He would go out to the club, he would go and, you know, get an expensive car, spend his money, and whatever you think of it, he balanced it very well. And this is what people don't understand, is like, I'm here today, I'm chilling, I'm messing around with the boys, we just had a barbecue, bit of food, I just played a game of pool, we're driving around in this car with the roof down, and look, I'm making money because of that. I remember a guy that I did a video with years ago, Steve Walker, you guys remember, if you look back at one of my earliest videos, he's the jacked fitness guy, Steve Walker. And he pulled me to the side one day and said, I make more money when I take more breaks. And I never understood it until around about a year ago. And the more time I took off, the more time I just had a little sunbathe, took a night off, the better the results that I got. And I was going for a run the other day, and usually when I go for a run, being somebody who has a sporting background in football, athletics, you know, some level of combat sports, rugby, I got to a decent level in as well. Everything that you do, and you guys will know this if you've ever done competitive sport, you work yourself to oblivion. You sprint, you run, you keep going until you're sweating and you don't feel like you're making progress unless you hurt. Now, the problem with that is you wake up the next day and everything's sore and you feel demotivated, you don't want to do it again, you got low energy, you need sleep, food, recovery, whatnot. It's not fun. Whereas what I did the other day, I was in Granada, I went on a run and I started walking, looking at the view, and it was beautiful. I was appreciating the sun. And then I was like, okay, this bit's kind of ugly, let me run. So I just kept running until it got beautiful again. About 15 minutes later, got to the park, and I was like, I want to walk in the park. I want to like breathe in that air, and I just want to enjoy the environment. And I was just walking around, smiling, happy, thinking about life. I watched a YouTube video, which was a really good video. It was some guy was talking about he was in his 40s, and if you're in your 30s, you should watch this. It was really interesting. And I was like, that's cool. And then when it was finished, I was like, I'm going to run again. Now, I did that in sequences. I ran, I walked, and whatnot. And I was enjoying myself. And this is what I mean by enjoying the progress. This is something I never did when I was younger. It's like, why would you go out for the hardest run of your life, unless you're an athlete, but why would you go out for the hardest run of your life and then the next day wake up and think, fuck this, like, I'm tired, what am I doing? Like, this isn't sustainable. And that's what it is. So what a lot of you are doing in business, it's not sustainable. The work rate that you're pushing at, you can do for a year, because I've done it. You can have 3 hours of sleep per night, you can do it for a year or two, but you just get to a point where you end up hating your work. Now, I love my job. I love this members club, and I love the way I train now. I go and lift some heavy weights. If I'm not really feeling it, I push myself through to a certain limit, and I'm just like, no, I'll come back to it later. I'm obviously not feeling it for a reason. Maybe I'm hungry, maybe I'm thirsty. I'll go for a run and I think, I fancy walking, I'm enjoying where I'm at. And then I'll jog again. And people will go, oh, you're not pushing yourself to the absolute limit. But here's the thing. I probably end up doing 100 extra sessions of training per year because I actually have fun and I enjoy it. I am now looking forward to my next run, which I might do around Cannes tomorrow. I might wake up early, go for a run, have a swim in this pool behind me, as you can see, and, you know, enjoy myself, do a little bit of cardio to the point where I'm like, I'm not really struggling here, it's not really hurting, but like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? And that's way more important, way more important than pushing yourself for one session. It's very much the Bruce Lee quote where he was like, I don't fear the guy that does 1,000 kicks in a day. I fear the guy that does one kick per day for 1,000 days. There's a reason for that. And it's not because, oh, this guy's consistent. It's because he's found a formula. That's the truth of it. He's found a formula, which means he won't quit. He's found a formula, which means he's not going anywhere. You know, because the amount of competitors I've had over my life where people have popped up and it's been like, okay, like, here's the new guy, here's the new one, somebody's copied my idea, somebody's going to do it, and then they all fade away. They burn out of energy, you know, they take steroids, for example, they take Adderall, and then 2-3 years later, it's like they've burnt out, they've given up, they fucked their brain up, they're out of the game. I've been nobody's favourite for maybe 10 years, but I've been here for 10 years and I'm still here, and I've got enough energy to go for another 50. That's the difference, is I'm here, I stay here, and I stay consistent, and I keep going. And that's the name of the game, guys. Just the person who's just still here every day, just doing a little bit, just chipping away at it, playing the long game. Those patient motherfuckers are irritating as hell because they're always there. They don't give up. They just keep going at it day after day after day after day. And it's because they enjoy the process. They enjoy what they're doing. And that's the way you do it. You know, when people say, enjoy the process, you're like, yeah, great, but how? You can't just tell me to enjoy the process if I don't enjoy the process. But you enjoy it by just kind of listening to your body. I once got told by an old person, about 85 years old, they're like, here's some life advice. If you're tired, sleep. If you're hungry, eat. If you're thirsty, drink. They were like, if you don't want to do it, just take a break and come back to it. And my mum always said to me, never quit. She was like, just take a break and just go back to it later. It's so simple. It's just like, if you're tired, the exact quote, because I butchered that, was, if you're tired, don't quit, take a break. And that's so simple and obvious, but it's like, yeah, we forget that. We have extremities, especially as men. It's like, should I just completely quit? Should I just completely quit or should I continue? And it's like, that's not your only options. You know, it's like when people say, would you rather a beautiful woman with a shit personality or a woman with a great personality but she's fat and ugly? And it's like, why do I have to have either or? And we do that thing. We do extremities. We go, okay, I'm going to work myself to the bone and I'm going to become a billionaire. And if it doesn't happen, I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to give up. I'm going to quit. And it's like, there's a middle ground where you just go a little bit slower. You just enjoy yourself along the way. You're just grateful that you even have the ability to do it. You know, there's people in the world that don't even have Wi-Fi and you do. So it's like, there's pleasure in that. There's pleasure in simplicity. There's pleasure in like, yeah, it's not where I want it to be, but like, I'm still working on it. I'm still in the game. Like, there's greatness in that. And I don't know why nobody celebrates it. Now, the reason you've all been tricked, and this is fact, okay, so keep this in mind. The reason you've all been tricked and the reason that you actually think that you have to do it quickly is because, I'm sorry to tell you, but everyone online is creating and I don't want to do this thing like everyone online I hate these type of videos, but it's true. Everyone online is creating urgency to sell you a course. Like, that's the whole system. It's like you've maybe got 3 months before AI comes in. You've got 2 years before the Matrix takes you out. It's never 2 years. It's always like 6 months. It's always a time frame that makes you panic. You know, and then it never happens. It's like the news when they're like World War III, and it never happens. It won't happen. Like, it never does. This is what all these people are doing. They're just creating urgency to sell you some shit, and that panics you into making a decision that you didn't want to take. But the problem is, because these people are so prominent in the world because they've got such influence over you, which I do get because it's kind of my job as well, and I do understand it. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, you know, I'm somewhat part of the problem, but I'm also part of the solution because I know exactly what's gone wrong. But what they're doing is they're creating that urgency to scare you so that you do something you don't want to do, and it's created this mindset within the industry that, you know, you have to get rich in 6 months. You have to get rich in a year. Like I talk to people and they go, this time next year, I want to have like 100K a month. And you go, from what? From zero? Good luck. Now I believe in you. Good luck. You know, I actually mean that, but it's like, it's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. Sorry, Aiden, I ruined your video earlier. I do apologise. I hope I'm not in the background. And that's the problem, is you lot are putting timelines on things that you're never going to accomplish. You're not going to do it in a year. You're not going to do it maybe in 2 years. Like, you got to think how long I've been in this game. I had hair when I started doing this fucking job. It's like, I've always wanted a physical business. I failed multiple times, but I figured it out in the end. And it's just sticking in the game long enough and enjoying, like I said, enjoying the progress. Just knowing that this year you're further ahead than you were last year. You know, I actually take so much pleasure in knowing that this house is better than the last house, or the first house that we did in Budapest, which you guys didn't even see the footage, you know? Or seeing how good Granada looks now compared to how it did on launch night, which wasn't even bad. But it's just the little things like, oh, pool heater's in, pool lights are in. We've improved the structure of the house, like the grounds, like it looks way better than it did. You've got to get these little wins, and I personally think this is how you do it. I personally think you have an end goal and you have a starting point, and then everything in between you just figure out as you go. And that's the game, because I think if you try and plan everything out, you're going to be disappointed. And this is one thing that I'm very guilty of. My dad told me before he died, he was like, one thing you need to learn is kind of, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it mentality. And I've only really just figured it out in recent years. It's like, because my girlfriend said this to me recently. She said, the problem is, she was like, you have these massive expectations of how things are going to go, and then when they don't go that way, you get disappointed. And I was like, yeah, I expect so much from people. And she was like, it very rarely goes the way you want it to go. And I was like, yeah, but what am I supposed to do? And she was like, we just don't expect anything. Just kind of work on it, hope for the best. And if it doesn't go to plan, then you just change your plan. She was like, you can't control every aspect. And my dad was the same. Like, you'll cross that bridge when you come to it. And it's a conclusion that many people have drawn. And now I have drawn, because I used to try and control everything. It's not going to work. You have an end vision. You have a starting point where you are now. Everything in between is just daily progress. And here's the problem. Here's what I'm going to end with. You are going to, thank you, mate, I appreciate that. You're going to end up getting to a stage in your life where you realize that whilst working on everything that you were working on and stressing over it, you actually missed your life. Because the thing is, like, right now, I'm 33 years old. I'm at this house. I could be like, yeah, but it's work. I've got to lock in. I've got to focus. But then at 45, when I've got 2 kids, I'm going to be sat there with no time going, fuck, I really wish I enjoyed Cannes a little bit more. I was there with the boys. That's the time of my life. So we're always wishing for the future, always looking forward and saying, in 5 years' time, I'll be where I want to be. And it's like, you know, when my life begins, I can start living. When, and all these ideas. But it's like, you're here now. This is it now. This is what I keep telling to the boys all the time. This is what I keep saying to the members. You're in it now. This is the moment now. This is like, you're right here. This is the time to enjoy. You know, you're sat having a coffee with your friend and you're talking about where you're going to be in the future and how successful you're going to be. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. I've done it and I encourage it. I think you should put your time in there. But you've got to think to yourself, right there and then is your life. You know, it's not, I'll wait for my life to start. It's like, it currently exists now. There's a word for it as well. It's like, I think they call it it's like eugenia or something like that. It's an old word, but it just means like, you don't have to let your current life suffer waiting for your future life to start. It's a good way to put it, actually. It's probably a good way to end it. There's some of the best advice I could give as a 33-year-old man who has pretty much accomplished everything that he said he was going to do. One thing I want to mention as well, guys, with this members club, it's not for me to flex. I built this for you guys. Like, these events are included in the membership. The Barcelona VIP seats included in the membership. There's no extra cost. Once you're in, you're in. I built this for you. I didn't build this so I could flex. I know we've all lost track of the industry and we're like, you know, everyone's selling the course to get rich. Everyone's a scammer. It's like, yeah, there's always one good person though. There's always one good person with good intentions. And I built this for you guys. you know. So I know people look at it sometimes as like, oh, what's everyone's agenda? I just built this for you guys, and it's fucking sick, and it's working. And I was saying to the boys today, I was like, do you know one thing I'm really disappointed about? It doesn't matter now, we've moved on, it's nearly 2 years from, and we're in such a superior position, I don't care about that. But like all the people that made scam videos back in the day, not one of them has made a video now and gone, do you know what, fair play, you actually did it. I actually take that back, you actually fucking did it, you actually built something of worth. I take back everything I said, well done. You never get credit for stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying, there is no end goal. That's why you have to enjoy the process along the way, because there is no like stars and stripes moment, fireworks begin, you've made it, 500 virgins land on your lap. It's just like, you just realize one day you just got to where you wanted to get, and you just go, oh shit, like I didn't realize, I'm here, I made it. And what's different? And you're like, nothing, I just have a little bit more money and freedom, it's a little bit easier. And you're like, so was it worth trampling on all your friends? Was it worth ruining all those relationships? Was it worth blah, blah, blah? And I've got lucky. I've got some great people in my life, a great woman in my life, and I pulled it off. But for a lot of people, they look back and they go, fuck, I ruined every other element to accomplish this. And now that I have it, I realize that the best years of my life were those years that I just kissed goodbye to. You don't have to suffer on the way to the journey, guys. This is why I created this members club, so that you can enjoy the journey and you don't have to live in purgatory until you get that. It is part of your life. Being broke doesn't mean that your life is bad. It's just a different phase of your life. Not being where you want to be, not accomplishing your goals yet, doesn't mean that it's a bad part of your life. You can still enjoy it. You can enjoy every part of your life. Everything is an experience. And, in 10 years' time, yeah, you got more money, but that comes with different types of problems. So it's like you have to enjoy every single day. You have to enjoy the progress. You don't have to burn the candle at both ends and push yourself to oblivion. It just doesn't make sense. It's like you might as well enjoy what you're going to do, because then you can do it forever. You can do it consistently. Like there's a reason I never really wanted to sell a course, because I was like, it's so limited, it's going to dry up. There's a reason I didn't really want to stick to the school community stuff, because I was like, it's just limited. It's going to be gone in a year or two. This is a legacy brand. This is something that's going to last forever. It's something I can work on for 20 years. And you guys got to have that mindset. You got to enjoy it every single day. You got to enjoy it. If you're tired, sit outside, have a sunbathe for a few hours. This is a guy who's a multi-millionaire who's telling you this. So, think about it. And I'm not trying to sell an agenda, but you see some guys like, no, you need to take action today. You need to do this because it fits the narrative of buy my course today, take action, I want your money. Be very careful who you're listening to. One last look at this unbelievable place. We got Aiden down there recording content by the car. We've got Abdi, who was recording content earlier. We just had a massive barbecue. It's just the opportunity, just facilities like these, like we'll remember this forever, It's just taking advantage of these opportunities, just living in the moment. We don't do that enough anymore. We don't live in the moment. We don't enjoy. We're always I'll enjoy when I get here. I'll enjoy when I get here. I was the most guilty of that. You guys probably know from my prior content. Just be careful, because I'm 33, I'm lucky, and I have a great life, and I got very lucky with the people that I met. But there's a lot of guys who get to 40, 50 years old, look back and go, I actually messed that up. I didn't appreciate any single moment of that, but I've started to do it, and it's very calming, guys. I'm a naturally aggressive person, and I don't like myself when I'm like that. It's not healthy, but I'm in a nice spot, and I hope that reflects through the camera. I hope you can see the changes that I made over the last 10 years and who I've become, and hopefully that allows you guys to get to where you want to get. I'm the guy who's taking his time. I'm the guy who said men who think in decades are dangerous. And I'm the one who's currently stood in front of a castle in Cannes with a physical business that has investors very excited, that has people sniffing around every day, that is growing every single day, that is going to be, I'll be honest with you, the only business that's still here in 20 years. Everyone else in the industry selling courses, digital products, buy my market and blah, 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 it'll all be gone. And I don't take any solace in that. I don't take any pride in that. I hope everyone does well. It doesn't affect me. But I'm just saying none of them will exist. It's the guy who thinks long term, the guy who's patient, doing one kick for 1,000 days. That's me. It's always been me. I've never been anybody's favorite. I've never had the biggest audience, but I'm the guy who's always there, who's always throwing the punches, who's never quit, who's kept going, because I'm the only one who actually fucking enjoys what he's doing. I'm the only one who did this for fun. I never asked you to subscribe once, and that is why today I win, because every day I just enjoy it. I just love making content. I love helping people. There's a real passion. I'm not in it for money. The money is a bonus, it's great. I put every penny back in. I just love building something of worth. I love building the business. I love the way that it's just evolving year on year and it's becoming something we're proud of. It's not Chris Sturmey brands. It's, I've just seen something I need to go and check on. It's Onem. I just seen some smoke just come out of the pool heaters. But guys, on that note, I'm going to check up on them. Have a good one.